Hi everyone, welcome back to Gilberto Silva podcast show. We are back here after International Week and look ahead of the Premier League games, important games ahead of us. And I'll bring again my friend Tim Chase to talk about important subjects for next weekend. It looks very promising again as we have seen some of the last game of the Premier League. And let's see. Hope we can have a lot of goals. Welcome back, Tim. How are you, my
How you
friend?
doing, Captain? How are we?
Very good.
You all right?
Yes, fantastic. How are you?
Yeah, all right, thanks, mate. How was your birthday?
Was good. Was good. Very relaxed. Surrounded by family and friends, as we like. Surrounded by the good people that we have in our life. It's always very enjoyable, very relaxed. Not much caipirinha. Very relaxed. It's good.
Nice,
Very healthy, but full of happiness. We had
nice.
like also, a long weekend to enjoy a little bit more, the break of it of bank holiday. It was quite a long weekend, but great to recovery and plan for the week ahead of us.
Nice. So, as someone who's won the World Cup and was an Arsenal invincible, Copa Libertadores, and everything else, what does someone buy Gilberto Silva for his birthday? What did you get?
Um, uh, I think for some people it's quite hard to think
Yeah,
about what they are going to do, what they're going to buy. But I got a few books from a friend of mine, and my parents brought me a T-shirt. Normally, I always tell people, don't worry about it. The
yeah,
important thing is to have you around me, as long as we can spend time together, have some fun. I think this is the best present I can have, because playing football the last few years, away from my parents and many of my friends, is a blessing to have all of them around, close to celebrate another, coming year. And it's great because then you realize how important it is, to have this opportunity, especially for me because traveling all these important dates, not only about my birthday, but
Christmas as
birth,
well, I guess.
and many others. And when I have this opportunity to spend with them, it's a blessing for me. I really enjoy it.
Nice. Well, I haven't told you this before, but I've sent you a gift. It was a little bit late being sent from England. Not my fault, but let me know when you get it. I hope you enjoy it.
Yes, yes.
I'm not going to give you any clues, but it's something really unique. So it's yeah, just see what you get it. And I've been working with your son on this. I've been talking to Gilberto Junior to organise this.
This looks like you are organized something behind me. Oh my god,
It's all
it's
good.
good.
It's not a joke.
The prize is good. It's great, and look forward to it, my friends. And I hope
No worries, mate.
we're supposed to deliver it soon because now I start to get what it is.
No, yeah, exactly. So right. So what are we talking about today, mate?
So there are some important subjects for us ahead of Premier League return after the international break. And the transfer window, I've been interested to talk about it, especially for Arsenal.
Yeah,
And good news for Arsenal fans and for the club as well. And some of the games, important games of the weekend, good games, tough games. I look forward if we will have plenty of goals as we what in the last game, last few games. And yeah, basically today, because of the international break, we are not going to focus in the national games, but turning our attention back in the Premier League.
yeah.
And starting from the transfer window, what do you think about it? How was it? Was some clubs they didn't make many movements,
No.
but for us, especially, concentrate on Arsenal. I believe that in the last day they signed a player they were looking for quite a long time. I've been talking for a few years,
Yeah,
uh, uh, talking about the central midfield. They signed a Partey from Atletico Madrid, and
yeah,
it's very promising. I'm really looking forward for to see him fit in the team and give the stability that Arsenal need for all this last few years. Man.
yeah. Because I mean, on the live show, well, they haven't really replaced you. I mean, we always say that whenever we talk to Arsenal fans, whether it's on your live show or whatever, they always say we've never replaced you. Can you please come back? But with your knee, there's no chance of you coming back anytime soon. Um, but then the next question they ask is, who do you think you could replace you, and what do you think about Partey? I mean, we've been talking about it. I mean, we've been doing the podcast for nearly a year, and they've always been asking fans have always been asking, what do you think about Partey? So here you go. Well, Arsenal have signed him now. What do you think about Partey?
My opinion is that he's a very strong player, very good
Mm.
player, and to fit in this position. And as we have been talking, the last a few times here in the podcast, and this is a position that we don't see many players around the world doing this position so well, protecting the back four. Because last few years, the thing has changed in this position. Instead of have a central midfield, a strong one to protect the back four, back three, whatever the manager call it,
Yeah,
and they replace for like having two number eights to have a ball possession. But at some point, some teams were suffering
mm.
very much at the back. Arsenal has been struggling in the last few years. But honestly, for example, now El is back from loan.
Yeah,
Um, although he was not, in my opinion, maybe the best player in the world, but he was a very genuine player to play in this position. That he could do the job a very simple way, as you have to do. And
right.
even though sometimes, he didn't get the credits he deserved because he's very quiet, very humble. He does his job and do it very simple. But having Partey now, I think Partey is above of him, is my opinion.
Yeah,
And he has done so well at Atletico Madrid. I believe that for Arsenal, will bring uh, a different stability for the team, a different experience because he's an international player as well. Give to Arsenal this, I think, the presence of a big guy on in the midfield
yeah,
will be so important for Arsenal defenders, for Arsenal midfielders to have the support of somebody who knows this position so well.
yeah. Absolutely. Is there anything that you kind of see in him about you? Is there any similarities between the two of you?
I think it's basically it's the way we play in the defensive position, protecting the back foot, understanding this. I think when you are in this position, you must understand what is your job. Because if you don't really understand, you can play there, but if you don't really understand what you have to do, you most of the time not gonna get credit for what you do. But your job is very important for the team to give the stability. As long as you understand that, I think it's super important. I think he's a type of player who knows exactly what he has to do in order to give the stability for Arsenal in the middle of the park. And I hope he can fit well in the squad. I'm sure he will be very welcome by everyone. He's a top player, and Arsenal players will give him a very warm welcome. And for the fans, I think they will enjoy it very much. I think they are very happy to have a player of this stature uh, be signed by the club in the last day,
Yeah,
last day of the transfer window. I think it was really important for Arsenal. I think Arsenal fans were like kind of somehow desperate, to have a big signing in a position they really need.
Yeah.
Because it's not about signing player just because you have to sign, but understand your needs. And Arsenal went to the point where they need a player in the position, and they sign a big name, a big player in this position. This is the most important thing for me.
Yeah, so obviously Edu, your old teammate, and Arteta are now working together. And it's his first real proper transfer window in pre-season. Do you think that they were working closely together, and that was something that Arteta said, knowing that he's played for Arsenal, and he knows that the defensive midfielder was key? Like, it seemed, I don't know how it took them so long to buy a defensive midfielder, because we know they never replace you. But everyone in the world of football knew that they needed a defensive midfielder, but except the people at Arsenal. So do you think Arteta? Do you think that was a key hire for Arteta and Edu?
I think the good thing, if you see this sign now, having both of them played in this position.
Arteta, good point.
Who, was a defensive midfield. Arteta a little bit more like a number 8, with good quality. But I understand the importance of have a strong midfield and to give stability for the team. I think it's a kind of key position, for the defenders, and also to give stability for the guys up front. And I think this looks like one piece of the puzzle that was missed for them to have a better stability, and hope that he fits well. I think what we need to look forward is for this, and I hope that he does well, and he give Arsenal the strengths they need.
Yeah.
They were like trying to find a player, but it was not easy to find anybody in this position. But now it seems like they got the player they were looking for quite a long time. And Edu and Arteta working together is understanding exactly, I think, what are the needs of the team. Because they transfer their abilities as a player, they were, especially at Arsenal, in the position they are, to understand exactly what where they want to bring Arsenal exactly. I think the positiveness around them is very good, and between them is also great. But understanding the needs and what kind of player they need to build or to make Arsenal stronger every opportunity they can.
Yeah, I think it's really important, and it shows how well Arteta's doing, because what, at Arsenal, fourth. Yeah. There's loads of them. Like 1, 2. I think there's 5 teams on 9 points, isn't there? And Leicester running away with it. No, Everton running away with it.
Yeah, it's a very good start for Arsenal, and this beginning of the season. We can say, despite the fact on the position they finished in the Premier League last season, but they finished this last season. They end up quite well. We can say that, winning the FA Cup final. Yeah. But starting the new season, 9 points in 4 games is, considering maybe the last few years, we can say it's a good start. But more important than that, starting well is important, the consistency for them from now on. And we see teams that were in the middle of the table the last few years, now they are on a different scenario, a different position. And which for me is a sign that the Premier League of this year will be very interesting. Starting with a little bit of surprise when you look the top of the table with Everton, then Villa, and but will be a big task for the bigger teams, be a big task for them to catch up, to get the points, and to see, wow, this sounds very, very different. We have to do something in order to be the top four and maintain our position. I think for the big team, the bigger teams in England, will be quite tough this year. This is what sounds like for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I mean, Manchester City normally spend loads in a transfer window. They didn't really spend that much. Nathan Ake. Then Everton spent a bit. Chelsea obviously spent loads, but they hadn't had transfer. They hadn't had any bought any players for 2 transfer windows because they had the ban. I don't know. I don't understand Manchester United's hiring policy. I don't understand why they keep on buying midfielders and old strikers. It seems like it's a guy. They seem like someone who's scared of missing out on something, so they buy everyone. You know, if Cavani was bought by I don't know Tottenham, well, no, not Tottenham, by Chelsea, and he but then scored 25 goals, they'll be pissed off that they didn't buy him. I think they're so scared about missing out on a player that could be amazing that they just buy everybody because they did it with Alexis Sanchez. Why did they buy him? And he didn't perform very well. There just doesn't seem to be a clear, defined strategy in terms of their hiring policy. Like Cavani just doesn't make any sense to me, really.
Honestly, for me, what they really need at this moment is defenders.
Yeah.
When I watch their games, and they need central defenders. Seems like they are unstable at the moment. If you see Maguire, since the return of the Premier League with him and Lindelof, and looks like signing, Edson Cavani at the moment is about maybe it's about an opportunity to have a top player in the squad because he was free. But the point is going to work or not. He's going to get the games. He's going to be play replacing Marshall, Rashford. What's the plan?
Greenwood.
Yeah.
You know, he's a young player who's smashing them in.
Promising young player. And what's the strategy behind it? What's the plan? It's about time for us to see exactly what they want and if it's going to work or not. And I think this is the point. And they sign a midfield as well. And but we have to wait and see how does the sign is going to bring, what they are going to bring and offer for the team on the field. Because back in the last game, it was very cheap result for them against Tottenham. It was like a tragedy. But looks like there's something they need to adjust, to work out to make the team look better. I think they got a good players.
Yeah.
My opinion is that they got a good team. Seems like they need to, something are missing the puzzle to organize them better on the field.
They seem scared.
I'm not the manager. I don't want to say that it's right or wrong, but from my point of view, maybe he needs to find what's the best system. He's going to use the players he got because he got good players. This, for me, is the opinion I've got.
Yeah, I think they look nervous and scared and suffering with lack of confidence at the back. I don't think they really know. I think they've got so many midfielders that they just don't know who to play where. Do you know what I mean? And I also think I don't think that Lindelof is necessarily a bad defender. I don't think Bailly is a very good one. I think Lindelof is okay, and I think Harry Maguire is a good defenders. But I think that David De Gea is not having a great run of form at the moment. He's making a few mistakes. And I think that, and you probably know better than me, if your goalkeeper is making mistakes, it's tough to overcome that, I think, until his form starts getting better. And I think that's what's having problems with the back four or the back three when they play. They're just so like Harry Maguire's rushing around trying to cover everybody, and in the end gets himself out of position, which then the whole strategy and the defensive lineup falls apart because he's rushing around trying to do things. And I think that comes from David Hayes having. I mean, he's a great goalkeeper, but he's just having a bit of a shit run of form at the moment. And I think that lack of consistency, and if he drops the ball and makes another mistake, I think that's probably what Harry Maguire and the back defenders at Man United are kind of struggling with.
Yeah. Let's see for the next weekend. They play Newcastle away, and Newcastle they are 9 at the moment on the table, and let's see how they are going to behave after the international break. To get away from Tottenham last game, all the frustration, all the trouble. Then let's see. Then another club, another team, another interesting game for the weekend. Everton and Liverpool, a derby from Liverpool. Very different situation from last year's, especially from last season. Now we see Everton, in the top of the table. This is great, man. Amazing. I really like that. See, in the last few years, Everton has been improving. Then they brought Ancelotti. I think it's giving them a different perception about reaching the good level of football. I think the players are doing well at the moment. But as we know in the Premier League or in every competition, it's important to start well, but more important is keep the consistency to finish well. And let's see how far Everton goes with this team, with having Ancelotti as a main leader of them, to inspire them, give them all his experience and confidence to the players. Players, when they started well, the confidence go very high. The game changes very often. Sometimes for some reason things change, or in some games, or during the course. But let's see. And I think for Liverpool, I don't know if it's good or bad having a derby after the very tough result from the last Villa.
It's gonna be a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the last result was really tough for Liverpool. Unexpected for most of us, I guess.
Hilarious for most of us.
Yes, that's true. That's why I'm saying I don't know if it's going to be good or bad having a derby, a Liverpool derby.
Well, when
the international break.
Well, after you had a big loss, what did you want to do? Did you want to just get back and playing as soon as possible, or did you feel like a break? So the scenario Liverpool, answer that. So after a big loss, did you want to play a game as soon as possible?
Well, sometimes it's good when you play, but depends on the situation. If you do have injured player, sometimes it's better you recover. Try to understand, because the hardest thing is try to understand what's going wrong, what went wrong, what happened, what you did wrong in this game. It seems like nothing worked in favor of Liverpool for this game against Villa. Seems like the Villa was, of course they were superior in the game because they were, lack of they were with their confidence very high, play against a tough opponent that nowadays many teams when they go to play against Liverpool, they understand it's going to be a tough game. But of course, for me, was very surprised on the results. But we must say that Villa deserved to win, because if you see the way they played, they were not scared. They were just playing their game, and everything worked perfectly for them. It could have been worse as it was. They their chance. It could be even worse. Maybe one of the biggest tragedy in football results in the last few years. against the last champion.
Yeah,
And
and
this
against a team who nearly got relegated last season.
exactly. And then this,
It could have been 12 or 13.
yeah, that's why we love this game because there's not about being the last champion. It's not about being the one who was almost relegated, but it's about clean out the problems, but look forward and play football with the strategy you've got, with the players we've got, and believe that we can do things. And then you see uh, the mentality of the game. It seems like they were too superior, too far away from Liverpool. That
quicker, stronger, first the ball, switched first the second ball.
Play very easy between lines, and for everyone look at Klopp's face, seems like Klopp was what's going on.
Yeah, this isn't what's supposed to happen.
Going on, I think for not only Klopp but everyone on the field for Liverpool. But I think after the international break, especially, I think looks like was, let's say, take the blame, absorb it, and work out in the last few days, prepare for an important match for the weekend against Everton. It's going to be tough, I guess, and for Liverpool, it's a chance for them to recover. For Everton, I guess it's like an opportunity to hit even harder the opponent.
Yeah, they'll be up for it, won't they?
Sorry?
They'll be up for it, won't they? It's their first. It's a derby, and it's the last champions, and they're going to want to make them suffer.
Yes, true. And then the last game of the day is we have Chelsea Southampton. I think for Chelsea is also a good opportunity. There are 7 on the table at the moment.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bag for Chelsea this season.
Sorry?
I think it's a bit of a mixed season so far. I know it's only been 4 games, but I think there's a lot of players. They've signed a lot of players, big players, and I think he just needs to work out his best team. They need to get more settled. But also, I think Lampard obviously came on board last season. There was not really any pressure in his first season because they had no transfers. He couldn't do any transfer windows.
Yeah.
So I don't think there was any pressure, and I think he's a victim of his own success. So now he became 3rd, I think, was it? And was in the final of the FA Cup. And all was going amazing. They didn't win the FA Cup, but now he's got pressure on him to succeed because he's now spent 200 million or how much is 250 million on players and the players that he wanted. So now he's under pressure. It's going to be interesting to see how he performs. I think he's used to playing with pressure. He's a big player, one of the greats. And he's going to be used to dealing with that. It's how he communicates with the players is going to be interesting because sometimes some of the best players don't communicate that well with their team. Sorry, they don't become best coaches because they struggle to communicate with their team. So it's going to be interesting. So I think they won 4-0 last game. And so I'm kind of thinking, I'm predicting a win against Southampton, but I don't think it'll be that easy. I think Southampton are a bit of a dark horse. I think Southampton will be all right this season, starting to play okay.
Yeah.
And then Arsenal have Manchester City.
Yes, tough game for us.
What do you think?
It'll be interesting this game. When you look at the table, I'm just looking here. Arsenal is 4th at the moment.
Yeah.
The City, they are
14th.
It's a totally different scenario compared to last seasons. But it's a tough game. It's going to be a tough game.
Yeah. Especially Arteta going back to Manchester.
Arteta, I think for Pepe, a little bit sentimental of losing him for us.
Yeah.
And for I think for Pepe, it's an opportunity to, let's say, bring the team back to the spirit of the Premier League and get points they are looking for. And it's been tough for them. Now, if you look maybe how the season he got with City, and didn't start as Many people would expect them to start this season,
Yeah,
and but it's going to be interesting to see their reaction if how they are going to behave in this game. But for Arsenal, I think they go full of confidence to this game. And now with Partey in squad, I hope he returned from national team,
yeah,
full recovered, fit to be part of the squad and to be playing the next weekend. I
yeah.
would be very, 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 very interested to see this game. I'm really looking forward for the weekend to watch all these games. I don't know if I'm gonna watch all of them, but
No,
at
no, it's not
Arsenal,
enough time.
you know, this it's like a battle outside the field. It's the two managers, one very experienced, and another one was like his pupil, Arteta and Pep.
Yeah,
It would be interesting to see both the two Spanish managers outside and see how they are going to set up their teams and who can produce more to win the game.
yeah, no, exactly. So, what are you predicting the score to be?
Well, I I'll say 2-1 to Arsenal. I'll say 2-1 Arsenal.
Okay, I'll go 2-1 Manchester City.
You want to do something for the others? We have a
Yeah,
workout last season, but we were not very good. We can start again, at least for this
yeah.
weekend.
This is my birthday this week. I don't want to upset myself too much. Maybe we'll start next week. Let's see how we go. Let's start with these first and see how we get on. But don't want to ruin my
Yeah,
weekend.
we go slowly. We go only with this game, and then we see.
Yeah,
But that's
cool.
it, my friend. I think, yeah, really looking forward for this weekend, the return of the Premier League, and look forward to see Partey future at Arsenal for the
Yeah,
weekend against tough game, as we all know, and be interested to see the other results, the other teams' performance, and see how some of them is going to react after a very bad last result. Stay with us with the podcast, listen to us, and watch our channel on YouTube. Thank you very much, my friend.
no
See
worries,
you
mate.
soon.
Always a pleasure.
All the best. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.